Hi, I am Jack Mead, and this is my Google website on virtual reality. To get into it, I will describe my banner and how my logo was part of it. And this was used in previous assignments with Pixlr, and it was easy to make and then put as my banner for the overall header, which shows virtual reality and the goggles itself, and then my name up here with the title. Getting into HTML versus Google Sites itself, over here is a great representation of what HTML is. It's an embedded code that pretty much highlights, bolds, and italicizes words while also using hyperlinks. And this is a great representation of what an overall version of virtual reality really is. So Google Sites store all of the information through Google Drive, which means if I edit this down here in the bottom right, and I can anything I edit saves automatically, so I can get right into it without saving it and worrying about losing information. So getting into part A through H, I'm in part First is A, purpose. So the purpose of virtual reality is to use computer technology to create a simulated environment. Unlike traditional users interfaces, VR places the user inside an experience. So it's like a three-dimensional world inside these glasses without actually being there. An example of this is NASA and how they've been using VR technology over the decades, and how it is used for how to train astronauts while they're still on Earth to like be knowing the experiences they would go through on zero gravity environment in outer space. Part two, or B, is the benefits or harmful effects of the innovation, and I went more of the harmful effects because there seemed to be more. And this graph over here pretty much sums up what is over here, but over here is a couple of harmful effects of this innovation, and one is loss of spatial awareness, which is pretty much just being not aware of where you are because you had the goggles on for too long. And then that gives into dizziness and disorientation, which anyone who feels dizzy normally, this could inflict it even more and then cause even deeper things such as nausea or eye soreness, or even getting worse into seizures. And then this graph over here is a representation of the following negative effects in people's opinions on where they used it: headache, motion sickness, social isolation, losing touch of reality, physical and social neglect, vision loss, neurological damage, and other. And I thought that summed up what I was writing over here perfectly. For part C, it was to explain the impact of the innovation and how it has on society and the economy and culture itself. And I think it has a very high impact on society and economy because the virtual reality world is becoming bigger with gaming and watching films and other things such as space exploration, like I was talking about with NASA. And in saying this, I think that video gaming is going up, and that video marketing and product branding are getting more money off these virtual sets. And over here kind of describes what I'm talking about, how the top three virtual reality companies are selling these pieces for $600 to $800, and they're getting over 1 million shipments in 2017. And how Sony's producing VR sets with their PS4, so it's even more of a high demand, and that's why they're 49% over the 21, 16, and 14, and number one overall. In part D, it's indicate one field other than computer science where this innovation has potential impact. And the one I picked was VR pilot training, and this is pretty much the simulation of flying planes without actually flying it itself. So it's like practice in the actual cockpit and controls of which are like the real life aircrafts, and it simulates the movements of flying with different joysticks and force that you would be feeling if you were in the plane itself. And these devices are used to train military pilots for combat missions and etc. And then down here was a graph from my pivot. It was a pivot table off of my survey statistics, and this was pretty much just describing would you buy a virtual reality set, and this is a smaller scale of female to male who would buy the virtual reality set. And over here is my video, and this is the benefits of the virtual reality set. In this video pretty much just sums up what I was describing earlier. And then over here is my survey, which I took for this class. And it's pretty much just a survey based off gender, age, and how virtual reality really affects the society and then people themselves. And then for the next technical aspects was part E, and it describes how the user interacts with the innovation, and pretty much the user interacts with the experience and closing in the physical world and being in a 3D world, and the users can be transported into various different worlds and situations, and even anything that can be imagined. And there are other experiences that exist in this reality, mixed reality, and extended reality, which provide the user with different experiences. And in this video over here, I'm not going to play because it's a little too long, but it pretty much sums up the whole aspect of the virtual reality goggles themselves. How for part F, it's how this technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas: abstractions, algorithms, and programming. And this one sums up pretty much all three of them: algorithm, programming, and the internet. And the big one that I thought was internet, because without the internet, these three-dimensional worlds wouldn't be accessible. And internet is a necessity to this product. Part G was describe the innovation and consumes data as an input and produces data as an output. So this graph right here pretty much sums up what all I'm saying over here. So the input is the head mounted display, the headphones, and the processor's on, and then the output is the immersive reality that you're experiencing. And then part H was the data storage concern, and the communications between VR devices and servers might be sent and encrypted, which means that someone hacks a VR set and launches a visual attack, and there could be IP hacking and location being known into the outside world of your own. And then summing that all up, there was references at the end, which are my references right here, and that is it.